Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running the theme park. And when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. How is everybody on this Tuesday afternoon? I have a bit of a headache, so I apologize if I'm a little spacey today. That is one of the reasons why I have two people joining me today, one of which is on time. My pretty, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing good. You know, Spawn ain't never on time.
That's true. That's true. Sorry, I have to turn down the little's iPad because she was jamming out to like jump around from House of Pain earlier and made it as loud as possible. And I don't want to get copyright struck by anybody in the background. So I will be back in a hot second. Sure. I'm still here. I just don't want to show y'all my big butt as I get out of this chair.
Anything to keep the little ones occupied.
Yeah, I went up in the attic yesterday and got all the I rotate out her toys every few months, but since we moved here, Mr. Squid, when we moved, he hates boxes. So whenever we move, he wants to get shit away. So we put a bunch of stuff in the attic because, you know, down here we don't have basements.
Right.
And I was like, where's like half of her toys? I went up in the attic yesterday and I found them. I'm like, so I switched out a lot of her toys. So she's occupied with toys that she hasn't seen since February. So we're doing.
I'll tell you, one time for Christmas, this is no lie, I'll tell you just how country I really am. One year for Christmas, we had moved like right at Christmas time. So money was really super tight. And it just so happens that there was 8 years difference between the first one and the baby. And so I went out into the garage and went through the oldest one's toys.
Sorry, I opened up a can and you can see what it just did to me. So
I went out to the
garage. I was back in college for a minute.
I went out the garage and went through some of his old toys and took them toys and wrapped them up and gave them to the baby.
And you know what? Like, you know what? When I was back home, I went to visit people that I used to dog sit for. And their son is about my age, maybe like 2 years younger, but lives out in like Arizona or Nevada or somewhere out west. And he, when I was over at their house, they gave her not only a toy for herself, like, you know, but hey, we have some vintage toys. Would you want one of these too? And I'm like, oh, this is stuff like from the 80s. I was like, oh, I remember playing with some of this stuff when I was little.
Hey, look, it's fun. You know what? That youngin' had the best Christmas she ever had, and she absolutely loved playing with everything. She loved it. And it was just gonna sit there when it wasn't, he was the first, so of course you don't want to get rid of any toys because they're your first. You're like, oh, I can't get rid of this, I can't get rid of that. She had a ball.
The interesting part of pulling out the toys is, when they're this young, you have a toy that's set up. I'm a Montessori type of person, like natural materials, not a lot of plastic stuff. But like you see her play with it when she's 2, and then you see her adapt and play with it a different way when she's 3.
Right.
And it's fascinating to watch the development of like, she used to take puzzle pieces and she'd take them out and she'd just work on fine motor and like handling them.
Mhm.
And now she's taking the pieces and actually putting them almost where they're supposed to go. It's fascinating to watch. But Hung Hero, thanks for getting us started with 10 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. I appreciate you so much. Turn in the chat green as usual. I will be doing a members only live probably tomorrow, if I sleep, or depending on what our schedule looks like, because thank you.
Oh, you getting beautiful muss. Oh, look at you, girl. Oh, look at you. Oh, I love it. I love it.
And I need the chat to help me pick out my my continuing ed courses. And since we're kind of transitioning into like short content where I'm hopefully going to be filming some videos on fall prevention, sitting exercises, stuff like that, I want to get the chat's input on what I should do for my continuing eds. And it kind of ask me anything, relaxed kind of a day. But Hung Hero, thank you for the $2 super chat. Let's super chat Squid over the roof. Yeah, and my anxiety is a little over the roof today because Mr. Squid woke me up at 3 a.m. And when I say woke me up, I don't mean like in passing. He shook me awake to give me a message this morning. So, and it was not a good message to share at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't go back to sleep. So I got a whole 4 hours of sleep.
Oh, joy.
I have 4 hours of sleep and I have a little bit of headache. And as soon as we're done here, my mom is coming over to babysit until Mr. Squid gets home, and I am going to work. So
you got a full day.
I've already made dinner because Mr. Squid has a procedure where he can't eat for a little while.
Right.
So his last meal, he wanted a certain something for his last meal, and I knew I wasn't going to be home, so I made it and I put it in the fridge. So I've already made dinner. I've made 3 meals already today.
Good Lord.
I have not sat down, so if I seem like I'm talking a little faster than normal today, it's because my brain is moving at 90 miles an hour and we have a funeral to plan for. So we're now I'm not
so sorry,
funeral, but
I'm so sorry you got so much on your plate, girl. I know what it's like. I remember those days of having a little one at home and you still have to adult.
Yeah. Adulting is, and if I can do it, certain people, like yesterday's video when I read the motion, y'all, we're not blind in the chat. You can get down. No. Oh my goodness, you got your pad right over there. No. Okay, then you got to sit still. There's asking a 3-year-old to sit still.
Yeah, right. Wishful thinking.
Spawn Trooper, thank you, Hung Hero, for the $2 super chat. Thanks for being the only person to pay, to make sure I didn't work for free today. Spawn Trooper is changing they, them, gender fluid. Maybe I should message him. And because he was up streaming pretty early today.
Yeah, that's like yesterday he went to sleep on me.
I'm going to message him and just, Angel, you got to get down, baby. I love you, but you got to get down. Yes. Go get your pad. Oh, I love you too, baby. I love you. Mwah. Mwah. Go get your toy.
Oh, I miss those days so much.
I know, and I know that she just wants to sit in my lap, and I know there will come a time when she's too big, and she doesn't want anything to do with me.
Yes,
So I'm
that's
soaking
funny.
it up as much as I can. And y'all, if you're in the chat and you're mad that she sits on my lap and sometimes talks over me, my 3-year-old likes to talk. I wonder where she gets it from.
Hey, look, girl, I feel you. I feel you completely. My baby girl is 22. Well, she'll be 22 next month. And I'm lucky if I get a hug. You know, of course, it's like, don't do that. I used to tell her all the time, let me just smell you. You know, because your child smells a different way. You know, you're a mother. You know exactly what
My
I'm
mom
talking
still tries to give me a hug, and I'm still like,
about.
I'm like a side hug. I side hug, or like, you know.
All right, hang on 1 second. That's give me 1 minute.
Okay. So, guys, today we're going to continue our deep dive into the documents, fact checking, discussing, and the people who know more than me about the documents. I can read them and interpret them, but people who know more about behind the scenes are here to help. And we're going to do this every Tuesday because, one,
Okay.
it's taking a different look at the documents. Hey, Spawn Trooper.
911 emergency. What is your emergency?
Oh, I have a headache because Mr. Squid woke me up at 3 a.m.
Oh, shit happens. Take 2 aspirin and 1 Tylenol and call me back later. Bye-bye.
I didn't yeet him. He yeeted himself. But we're just going to take a look at the documents themselves and analyze what is said in here versus what people have said on
911, what is your emergency?
Shush. Let's get to it. I've only got a limited time. I have a hard
Well,
exit
get on with it
time at
then.
4 o'clock.
This is
So-
the emergency call line.
Oh. So last time we were looking at the
Naked pictures of hamsters.
hamster bandit.
Yeah.
We got into some of the main document where she had to list all her belongings. But just so we remind the chat and anybody else who may have not been here or
They
wants
were
to
naked.
here is
Wrong one.
yeah. Nope, that we're just reminding. I just had it over this screen so it looked funny. We're just going to remind everybody that if Lynette says she's never filed for bankruptcy before, that's a definite lie. Same last 4 of her social security number. So I just like to start off every stream like if she tries to gaslight you into saying she's never filed for bankruptcy before, she lies. She lies. Spawn and his small rodents. I think he was referring to this.
Wait, what?
This. Hold on. Let me turn off my camera. Do 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 do. There.
Oh my god. It's dinner.
It's the panty hamster.
Muppet, eh?
Yep, a panty hamster. That's
Panty
it.
hamster.
Just before, like, hello everybody. Obviously, you didn't get a chance to say that.
And hello everybody. I'm sorry I didn't do introductions or say hi to everybody like I usually do. I am just in a rush. My brain is moving 10,000 miles an hour.
Unhung hero, have you been drinking tonight? Anyway, well, hello, ladies. I got myself a new handbag today.
He did send me a super chat earlier that said this.
Oh god.
So I'll just leave that there for you to read.
Oh my. Do you know that is fucking offensive? Hey, listen, I identify as the invisible man, and my pronouns like where and who. So anyway.
All right, let's get back into these documents. We did finish the property, right?
Yeah.
You got to where her total was with what she's worth.
Okay. That's what I had thought, but I was like, just because that was a something special. Let's put it that way. So here's Spawn. I know you got comments. I can hear you biting your tongue.
Mm.
Yep. I can hear it.
No, it's just that by pure coincidence, knowing full well that we were going to be doing this today, I thought, you know what? After I let a couple of people know that they're absolute freaking cockwombles, right? I decided to go and I was scrolling through that group, and as you do, you just like reminisce and go, oh look, oh yeah, oh that's a nice comment, oh that's a good one. And then I came across the other night's stream with the Crampons and freaking Deuce Foreskin. And he was sitting there and he was richly lying through his freaking teeth, going on about the $6,000 for the lawyer. Do you know how long that $6,000 would last with a professional, well, by the all accounts, a professional lawyer? Probably 2 hours and some paperwork, motions put and done, if that. There's a serious discrepancy in. Hi, my darling. How are you, by the way? There's a discrepancy. Okay, answer me, woman. There's a discrepancy. Damn you! There's a discrepancy in what's being said, and he's a bit of a cockwomble anyway.
Unlike me, she's being respectful and letting you talk. I just interrupt you.
That's bullshit. That is absolute bollocks. You both interrupt me every freaking time. You derail me all the time. You bully me all the time. I feel victimized. I am now going to be a victim. Mama.
You want some cheese with that wine?
Oh, shut up, you. No, but see, on a serious note, I mean, I listened to the gibberish he was saying, and I thought, what? It's a well-established company. Really? Funny that they do similar stuff that you did. Aren't you professional, Bruce? Oh, no, wait a minute. You're not. You got your wife as a company manager. Don't you find that strange that you keep it in the family? Yeah, that's what she said. Sorry.
And I had heard somebody say, Robert, in a different chat, this document still lists the Jeep. I thought I heard it had been repoed. I only heard the RV, not the Jeep.
Yeah, I've only heard the RV, not the Jeep.
But okay, in regards to that, when I get my information, when I say stuff, I either get it from what the people in chat say and or what one of these two say. Because other than that, I really don't. Because Spawn was like, yeah, I listened to the Crampons and this. I was like, y'all got, I don't understand how you can do that.
No, I didn't. I mean, the other night I listened to him and I felt physically sick. And, like when you watch these sci-fi films where like you hear that funny noise and then your head explodes, I was close to that. No, this video was actually in the fake What the Hell's, well, it's no longer the What the Hell's fake group because it's got no, anyway. And I listened to it and he was talking full of shit. And obviously then they started blapping their mouth off and you could tell. Now, here's the thing. Over in the Americanese country, right, you call an RV anything with wheels what you can live in, right? There's a difference between an RV, which is motorized that you can drive, and a caravan that you can tow. Okay, now the RV that belonged to Lloyd was taken. That was the second RV that was removed from that property. Right, the first one was Jamie, but I can't remember most of that, and then the other one was Lloyd's RV. Excuse me. They had a caravan or a camper van, as you Americanese say. So I'm still trying to figure out, did they also remove that camper van / caravan?
Yeah, they removed the one that John was living in. The camper that John was living in, they removed it. They turned it back in for failure to pay it. Interesting.
So I'm going to revert back to my original statement, which I said many, many moons ago in a far, far galaxy, far, far away. Oh, wait a minute, galaxy, far, far, not far, far galaxy.
Anyway,
right, okay, whatever. Yeah, all right.
You tell me that I get derailed. You derail yourself.
No. All right. It's basically if they had all the money and everything else between November and March, irregardless of permits or not, why are they not living in that barnuminium? It's got windows, it's got a solid ground, it's got a roof. All you'd have to do on a technicality, all you'd have to do is build one big frame, like probably two frames and a roof. There you go. You've got one place to live.
I mean, I went to Lowe's today and they've got portable air conditioners for a couple $100. So I mean,
There
you
you
could stick
go.
a
There's
portable
the
air
point too.
conditioner in there,
Mm-hmm.
and at least
Right.
you'd have a roof over your head. I don't know, but that's just.
And what I can't understand, excuse me, I just drank boiling fucking hot coffee and I just burnt my fucking tongue. What I can't understand is if the property, estate agent wise, if the property is worth 41,600 and whatever fucking apples, okay, how can that property be valued at the amount that they're valuing it at? And this is what's telling me. This is why I believe that what's happened. This lawyer in Miami, okay, was given fake or false or exaggerated information. He then filled the information out and just fucking mailed it in. That's what I took from the whole thing. I think that 6,000 is gone anyway. You know, finder's fee for Deuce Matskin, and then obviously the just saying. Anyway,
I think it went certain places that have nothing to do with anything lawyers. But that's
Yeah, I do too.
all right. Getting to the documents. This was document 13. This is 106C. This is property you claim is exempt.
Wait, what?
So this is all of the stuff that she claims is exempt from state and federal bankruptcy. So which set of exemptions are you claiming? You are claiming state and federal non-bankruptcy exemptions. And I have not read this statute. I probably should. However, yeah, there's something shady and like something shady going on from anybody's. I'm not sure I'd want to live in a trailer under a sail that hurricane would take it to Georgia. Don't take it here. Like, send it to Alabama.
Alabama.
Send it to Bama. Like, don't bring it here. Nice if they only had a brain. Oh, I had an MRI. I know I've had a few MRIs. I know that I have one. It doesn't always work sometimes, but yeah, Melody, I agree. This was filed just to stop the other cases. But here's the thing with that. These are official court documents. So these are subject to perjury. And damn sure I'm going to find it. Because, yeah, we already know that she lied because she doesn't have any clothes. Like, she literally said she doesn't have any clothes. Like, that right there is a lie.
And she ain't got no jewelry.
Can you picture that walking around butt naked?
No. No.
We both said no. No.
This is why this is one of the bloody reasons I am stating with emphasis is that she did not have any doings of filling that fucking thing out. Don't you point your tongue out at me?
I didn't point it at you. I pointed it at Harry. He said, watch that tent land on the property located next to Squid.
Oh, that's fighting talk.
Only me. Lisa Lee said on her last stream that all the money she received is hers. Of course she did. Why wouldn't she?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds.
And she firmly believes that too. Don't doubt it.
No, it's not all hers. None of that money is hers. Only the money that she received in memberships and unidentified fucking what you call them again, super chats. But here's where you have the burden of proof. Okay, if they bear with me on this one. if they send money, as if you send money to them, right, using memberships or here's 100 memberships, whatever, right, and here's donations and stuff like that, right, that's fine. But the moment you send money to Cash App, PayPal, and Chiswiz and fucking God knows what else, whatever you want to call it, you lose all legal standing, because the thing is, you have to prove, you have the burden of proof that you sent that money via PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, and if yes, you sent that money, that means you got proof because you sent that money through a different system.
Anything over $600 on Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, and the IRS is going to send you a tax form.
Yep.
So
yeah, so I find this is why I find it very strange. And with all due respect, anyone who sent them money, why are we not seeing any evidence that the money was sent? Because they haven't shown any transparency from day one. And now you've got these bankruptcy forms being filled out incorrectly, missing shitloads of information, pardon my French. And it's like a circle of deceit and lies. There's a circle of deceit and lies. And unfortunately for them, you've got us three talking about it. Sorry, I'll shut up.
So she has her household gifts from, or her household property from the 106 A and B, which was the last form. Brief description of 50% of real property, 50% of the Jeep, which is 900, which we did the rough estimate on how that would be possible. And household goods, this is where I have the problem. $350. I believe it was Hey Joe put in the comments earlier. A bankruptcy auditor should go out there, and because you look at anybody and, like, I'm sorry, I know people who are homeless or who have been homeless that still have more than $350 worth of.
I agree.
Worth of goods.
That refrigerator alone is worth that much.
Exactly. Who don't have a home? Like, I understand, like, they carried everything they had in their car or on their back, but they still had more than $350 worth of clothes, electronics. They had a cell phone. Like, people manage, but I know people who have been homeless back in their 2010s who had more than $350 worth of stuff. And I saw it with my own eyes. And I'm like, so that to me, if I was any sort of, if I was the court looking at this, I'd be like, something's rotten. Something does not add up. The math ain't mathing.
I mean, the fact that they didn't put in the amount of exemptions that you want to claim.
Okay. We can go on and on about this all day. Like, I feel like that's a rabbit hole that we've gone down already, and it's like beating a dead horse at this point. So 3, are you claiming a homestead exemption of more than $214,000? No. Yeah, because even if she was, nothing she has is worth more than $214,000.
Right.
So, yeah, this right here. Where the hell are all their things from Northport?
They're all stored in that shed, that great big shed over to the left-hand side where they found the gun in the dresser.
It will be interesting. Yeah, and she never put that dresser on household goods and stuff.
She didn't put the whole shed on that list because that is full of clothing and God knows what else.
Well, Jane, I think we're on the same page with that. The lawyer should be. She is technically the one who has to fill it out, but the lawyer should be either on Zoom, or this is why you don't hire a lawyer that's 4 or 5 hours from your house. You hire a lawyer that is local, that can sit down with you. You go to their office and you fill it out together, because that's what you're paying them for, to make sure you fill out all the stuff because anybody can fill out this paperwork. But we all know that we've all filled out paperwork. We're like, I don't know how to answer that question.
Can I throw a curveball in?
Oh, great.
I'm throwing a curveball in. Considering that, like, Bruce Matskin obviously fired himself, and considering that Lisa, the walrus crampon, gobshite, thinks that she's like fucking the biggest, best, and fucking baddest lawyer going. The fact that they've driven down there for the Christmas celebration and everything else and build the fence, why didn't she say, hey, look, okay, you're going to do this? Right, okay, then, not a problem. What we're going to do, you come halfway, we'll come halfway. We'll meet at somewhere, right? And we'll have a coffee, have a little bit of, yum-yums, and we'll fill out that form with you. On a technicality, I mean, right there, you've just blown both sides out the water on the lawyer and her, because if they can drive down and give it big lips and around Christmas and give it big lips, pardon the expression, right? Then why couldn't they go down and help her fill out, considering that they just grifted $6,000?
You're talking like she's a friend.
Wait, what?
I said you're talking like she would be a friend to her.
Well, hang on a minute. I thought they were. I thought they were really good friends.
My personal opinion, not knowing a lot of the details of what have been said within the last 6 months, just from, like I said, all the information that I get about who said what on a podcast is all from either these two or the chat. People saying, well, this person said this and this person said this.
Mm-hmm. What about Biscuit Boy?
It seems to be the victim Olympics and who can stab each other in the back the most.
I agree.
No, I agree with that, but I think there's a little bit of added bonus. Here comes the added bonus on top of that. It's how much money they can get out of people. That's the biggest spotlight. Because what about Biscuit Boy? Why didn't she contact Biscuit Boy and go, hey, can you come and help do this form? I mean, like, with all the people, or what about, hang on a minute, what about Rasta Sus, a good friend of hers who used to sit behind her in court when at first they started first going to court? There's so many discrepancies in this. It's mind-boggling that anyway, yeah, I'll shut up.
Stormbeard Summers, as Lynette and John said many times, that they sold the house for good money. Now, if I see this form, I see this form, I have one question: where'd all the money go? Now, if anybody can answer that question, let me know.
Oh, I can tell you right now. They bought the property. They bought everything to do with the barnuminium. Then they spent some of the money on on the Jeep and everything else. Then they got the caravan, not the RV, the caravan, and then the rest of the money went on booze and God knows what else.
And this is a brief description of what was put in the page that we did yesterday or last week.
Mm-hmm.
Electronics, $150. You don't have a cell phone?
Our tablet? Our laptop?
Or
how does she get on YouTube?
How'd she do her depo on her laptop?
See, I wanted to come up with a third good example, but I can't.
I'm not saying this.
How does she order stuff from Amazon?
Or all her rocks?
There's a really lumpy mattress somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Don't don't. No.
I think she meant there's money stuffed in a mattress somewhere.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
During the Depression here in the 30s, people used to hide money in mattresses because the banks collapsed.
Funny, that was only a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Sorry, what?
100 years ago. But okay. 94 years ago to be exact.
And this is where she gets unstuck. Electronics are just on two of those, with the utmost respect. Just on two of those, have you noticed something with the amounts? Also, have you noticed, okay, that electronics, hobby equipment, fine, deposit accounts, but have a guess what's missing? mechanical wear and tear, clothing, food.
Yeah, I mean it's brief description of the property in line Schedule AB that lists property. So
Well, you got the shower, which is a portable shower, which, I mean, you can't leave that outside all the time because after a while it will just. There's a lot you could add to that.
And addressing Roy's comment, according to her own words, she used the child's back pay to buy the Jeep. The only reason where I'm not completely mad at her for that, yes, the Jeep, you could have gotten a cheaper vehicle.
Right.
You didn't need that vehicle. However, here's my thing about like child support and the child's money. A certain portion of it, I'm okay with spending on things for the household because if you don't have that household, like my dad paid child support for 16 years. Not all of the money always went to me and my hobbies and my stuff. Some of it went to, I don't know, pay the rent because if you didn't pay the rent, we didn't have a house to live in. So like,
but I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works.
I hear people talk about that though, and I'm like, it in a way, depending on how it's done and if it's documented, and like, she needs a vehicle to get to and from doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So I don't completely fault her for that.
I'm with you on that one.
But there's a problem, ladies. There's a slight hiccup on this one. Because around the time he and her decided to get that Jeep Gladiator, there was already a mention of approximately 4 different variations of vehicles. At one point, they even had a carpool. At one point, they were going to get a VW Beetle or whatever. So they have had vehicles in the past that were perfectly fine. Yes, they could have been scrap jobs or whatever, clapped out cars. But my question is this. If you have a second-hand vehicle, look, just bear with me on this one. I'm not trying to dog them down, right? No, I've already done that. I've already done that. Okay? I'm not going to put them down, but I'm going to say this. If you've got a vehicle, okay, it's old and it's rusty and it's got dents in it, fine. Okay, you can go to a second-hand car dealer, get yourself a decent vehicle for what, 12, 15 grand. You've got the money, right? So explain to me, why did you go to a Jeep and go and buy yourself a Jeep Gladiator where you could have got yourself a way better vehicle second-hand? Yes, it wouldn't have lasted so long. But the thing is, it would have had a mechanical history, and plus it would have been a vehicle that you already know where to go to get it repaired, and you would have already had a base for that vehicle to get repaired. So why waste all that money on a $40,000-$50,000 vehicle?
No, I agree with that. Like, I agree. There could have been like, you could have gotten like a 2010 like Jeep Cherokee for probably a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
Or a Toyota Corolla or a RAV4 or something that's dependable, because I think Toyota is more dependable than Jeep, but that's the topic for another day. Toyota RAV4 would have got you a little bit of 4x4 capabilities off, but decent gas mileage to the better than what you got and cheaper.
Yeah.
And Toyotas run forever. So like I don't, what I'm saying is I don't disagree with like using the child's back pay, because when I got my VA back pay, it was like I was able to get things that I had been like needing for months and couldn't afford.
Right.
Because it's a lump sum. However, the choice of vehicle and the choice of what they decided to do with it and how they proceeded with it, I don't like.
Yeah, because all she did was put a down payment on that Jeep. She didn't pay it off.
Yeah.
So you still have that monthly payment due each month.
Because Deborah brings up a good point, and I didn't know this. And see, this is where, she has to copy her victim, George, who drives the Jeep.
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was, when you're driving around in a posh car, that looks like a lot of money. and you dress very posh and you make yourself look something that you're not. I think it was that. I think it because they were, they moved from North Fort down to there, thinking that it's obvious what they were trying to do. It is obvious.
Honestly, that shit happens around here all the time, where you see people living in a trailer park with a $70,000 freaking F-150.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you see that shit all the time. Like, I mean, not to say that it's a good idea, because Mr. Squid and I didn't want to be house broke. We didn't want to have nice cars and a nice house and not be able to do anything.
Right.
Like, the only reason I got my car is because I got an inheritance that was specifically earmarked for me to get a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't spend it on a vehicle, I didn't get to spend it. So, buy a car, or this money goes back into the estate.
But the thing is, this is my whole point. Like, you can tell, and this is going back to this document. You can tell 100% they did not fill it. And if this is the way I think it happened, my pretty, you play LP and I'll play the lawyer. Well, hi there, LP. How are you?
I just had such a rough day.
I know. I am sorry to hear that. But I'll tell you what. What I want you to do, just tell me, how much do you spend on electronics?
I don't have any electronics. I just got a freaking free tablet. That's it.
Okay, so we'll just put 150 down. Not a problem. Right? How much? What about clothing? Do you have any clothing? Do you have anything?
I mean, I got stuff I got at the thrift store. Does that count? I mean, it's thrift store stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. Well, let's just put 250. Let's put 300 down. Round a number up, shall we? What about vehicles? What vehicles do you have?
I don't actually own a vehicle.
I'm
in it with somebody else.
Okay.
I mean, got to pay monthly payment. I got to do this.
So how much do you pay monthly? Rough estimate.
$900.
Okay, so we'll put 1,800 down there, shall we? Shall we double up? Because there's two of you, of course. Like, that's the way I think that's happened. And then basically, okay, then LP, thanks very much. I'll carry on. I'll finish off the form for you, and and you just have to sign it electronically, and then we'll just we'll put it in. Yeah. Okay. Have a good day. Bye bye now. Yeah, and basically that's the way I think it went. I think there's been a lot. I think a lot of people's fingers were in the pot. And due to the fact with Bruce Matskin and everyone else involving themselves, I do not believe at any time that LP sat down with the lawyer 1-to-1 and went through that document in its entirety.
Yeah. This document, I just have to make sure that I have all the what I need.
I need to change
redacted.
Yeah. I need to change that picture. I'll look very angry, Grinch. Angry Grinch.
Is there a happy Grinch?
Nope.
Yeah. Yes, but the point of a bankruptcy lawyer is to be able to fill out the forms correctly. So he either did it for her, or he didn't do his job. And either way, he didn't do his job. Let's be honest here. Because I'm sorry, I am not a lawyer. But if I was a lawyer, I would not submit any documents that look like this under my name. I either wouldn't have taken this client to begin with, or I would be like, I looked at your documents. We need to have a conversation.
Yep. $6,000? That should have got you a face-to-face freaking sit down with that document, and unfortunately, I did not get to do as deep of a dive as I wanted to on all the documents for her lawyer and his issues. I looked at them, but I did not get to organize them or come up with a plan of how I wanted to do a stream on them. Because real life,
there's a lot.
3D world is once you think it's starting to settle down, and I'm like, oh, I can start focusing on my channel, something else just
pops up,
knocks on the damn door and says, hey, you got to worry about me. So no, daddy's not home. No, he's not home yet. Nana's coming over to watch you while mommy goes to work.
I find it very interesting that, I mean, if it would have been me and this was publicized, I would try my damnedest to not cover the topic. You know, I would try to not talk about it. I mean, the fact that Bruce Matskin was on the Crampon stream the other night talking about it like if it was just a, you know, and then him removing himself, like, you know, being removed from like, has he forgot that he lied about the fact that he said that he got fired, but in fact he actually got asked if he could be released? I mean, for he you know, if Lynette Preston was standing in front of me right now, and she said, "What do I do?" I said, "You know what, woman? I know that your intelligence factor is less than the minus fucking figure, but I would tell the truth. Say what Bruce Matskin told you to do. Tell everyone, because the sooner you tell the truth, the sooner people may start feeling sorry for you. I think, like I've said from day one, Lynette Preston and John Cook have been used as stepping stones to have a dig at Jeremy Hales. And that's what they've done, because if you look at the pattern, she was just an ornament that they used to do grift with. As simple as.
And Jeff says attorneys that specialize in bankruptcy have clients fill out the forms. Once completed, they sit down with clients and review and correct any issues, then utilize software for online services. And that's been my experience with the people that I personally know who have filed for bankruptcy that I spoke to.
I rest my case, Your Honor. That's the whole thing I've been trying to say.
But Tammy had said, and Tammy, I feel for you if this is true. Like, not that I don't believe you, but if this is truly what happened. When I filed years ago, I did all the work. I filled out everything and had to call all my creditors myself. The only thing he did was file it. Because like that sounds like you got. I feel a certain way about that lawyer for you. So.
But I'm sure Tammy didn't have to pay $6,000 either for her attorney.
No.
There's that too.
Yeah, I mean, so if you pay $1,000 for a bankruptcy attorney, let's just say it costs you $1,000. If you pay $1,000, you know, I can see you doing most of the legwork, and him just doing, you know, the part with the court that has to be done from his part.
Mm-hmm.
But these donators, because Lynette didn't pay it, the donators paid $6,300 and some dollars.
And I'm like I said, I'm sorry. I have seen a lawyer. I did not personally speak to this lawyer, but I'm aware of this person because they were hired at the opposition of the last lawsuit that was filed from this household that charged $1,300 an hour. I believe that person was worth the $1,300. This was not worth $6,000. This is like Dollar General type.
I mean, do you know how much I pay my accountant, my financial advisor?
Probably less than $6,000.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, if I have to go into his office, right, I'm already looking at $280 an hour. 280. You know, and I mean, well, then again, I mean, you know, he is also my lawyer as well, but he can't double hat. But the thing is, the fact that I know where the money goes, if I have to fill out forms and I don't understand those forms, he will phone me up and he'll say, right, you need to come in, you need to come down for a couple of days, right? So what he'll do, he'll book a hotel for me. I go down, and then basically get it sorted. And I'm there for a couple of days, but I sit in front of him and we fill out the paperwork. That way it's done properly, correctly the first time. So when it goes in, right, it doesn't come back at you with questions. The fact that this bankruptcy claim, this paperwork went in, and this is where my alarm bells start kicking in. The fact that this form went in, they should have checked this form. If they found any discrepancies, which they did, and they responded with a response, that there was this and this and this and this motion missing, they should have taken that bankruptcy form off the system, sent it back to them, and said bankruptcy pending. So they should have froze the bankruptcy claim or motion until the paperwork was correctly filled out. They sent it back once it's been checked and confirmed that it's correctly filled out. That's when it continues. But they didn't do that. They just sent her a response. Yeah, you're missing this, which was like 90% of the fucking form. Pardon my French.
Sorry, I just had to return a message. The complicated thing about the person who passed away is that they're close family friends with Mr. Squid's family and neighbors of my in-laws. So not only do we have to attend the funeral, which I have no problem doing, however, we have to attend the funeral with my in-laws. And my sister-in-law is 5 months pregnant, and my in-laws do not know that she's pregnant.
Oh,
Surprise!
snap. Oh, snap.
My
Tell her to
sister-in-law
wear a
left
big baggy
it.
dress.
My sister-in-law left it up to her husband on whether to tell his mother or not. And as I believe, as of now, they have not told. I've not spoken to this woman in 18 months. So
it's
going to be a fun. As if funerals didn't suck enough.
Maybe there'll be another funeral on the same day. I mean, I would just go, yo. Yeah.
Should I start grifting for bail money?
Yeah.
No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of person, but
yeah, if Baby Squid puts thumbs up, then yeah.
Should mommy start grifting for bail money?
Yeah. That's my girl right there. She was putting on lipstick earlier. It's
just lip balm. It's I keep like a Burt's Bees lip balm wherever I go. And she this one is dragon fruit lemon, and it's her favorite. So
wait, hang on a minute. 18,000, 36,400.
I love it, girl. I love it.
She's my little diva.
36,400. You got a Gladiator Sports Standard Jeep Gladiator in 2020 for 36,400. What's wrong with this picture?
Wait. Ammo's girl, thanks for the $10 super chat. More chocolate squid. Squid, I can grift for Meyer money. I'm still jealous. Can you like call Meyer and tell him to make one or build one down here?
I wish we had one too. I hate that we don't.
I love Myers, man. I could go on like a 20-minute tangent on why I love Myers.
I know. I see it online all the time. I follow a bunch of people. This one lady on YouTube, the Bell's 10, and they're always going to Myers to go shopping. And I'm like, dang, I want to go to Myers. Or they go to Wegmans. And I'm like, well, we got a food line.
Yeah. We have food line. We have a Publix here. But I haven't been to Publix because Publix is like, if you live in the Midwest, like Trader Joe's / Wisconsin has a Bartolotto. No, not Bartolotto's. They have a small store like Trader Joe's, but it's expensive. That's what Publix reminds me of.
Oh yeah, I can't afford it either. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, Publix is where you go if you're feeling bougie that day.
Yeah. Or you need that one ingredient that somebody's got in a recipe that you've never heard of before.
Southern Red Sox girl, closest Meyer to me is a 5-minute drive. Oh,
See, you're just rubbing salt on the wound.
My employer, I love my job most of the time. Well, call me jealous.
I mean, for real, they just rubbing salt on the wound now, ain't they?
Here you go. Here's my thing to be jealous of. In January, I can wear shorts.
This is true.
Without looking like a psychopath.
Do you know?
Sorry.
Excuse me. I have just. Oh,
what? So this is creditors who have claimed security by property. Yes, she has creditors. Grow Financial. And this is one of those things where you look at it and you're like, this is got, you know, when you find creditors out of that, like, you're like, how do these people have a company? And then we're like, oh, they work with dealerships to provide
Yeah.
people with poor credit, really shady loans.
And charge you out the yin yang for interest.
Yeah. Hung Hero, thanks for the $2 super chat. We've got Jewel in Illinois. I miss Publix. We used to have Jewel Osco, and there's still a couple in Wisconsin. Not very much though. So, all right. But there's my y'all have public, or y'all have Meyer. I don't have to shovel snow in January.
Just a quick question of interest.
Possible answer?
I've done a little bit of research in regards of Jeep Gladiators 220 plate in Jeep Gladiators, yeah. And hang on a minute, the
we almost lost the stream. She unplugged my power supply.
Oh crap! Basically, the dearest one I found was $40,691.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I was distracted. I apologize.
The dearest vehicle that I have found, right, was for 40,000. Okay, 40,600. This is all secondhand, right? With 21,000 miles on it. And then there's one on with 108,000 miles on it. That was 21,000. 50,000 is $31,000. 114,000 miles is $25,000. Right. So most of these vehicles have got like between 25 and 40,000. Some of them I'm looking at, and you're looking at 38,000, 27,000, 25,000, 29,000, 27, 35. So you're looking around. Because I noticed something. They said the amount of the vehicle, right? But they went through Crow Financial FCU for that vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't looked at Grow Financial as far as like if they're reputable or they're just a shady company that gives high interest loans to the people with no credit.
But the problem is I can't find any of the Jeep, and I've looked, to be honest with you, since we've been talking, since that you've had that page up. I've been looking for a Jeep Gladiator, right, and I cannot find a Jeep Gladiator. May it be a Rubicon crew cab, may it be a sports cab, sports S crew cab, sports standard, nothing, overland crew cab. Right, there's not one vehicle that you'll get under 25,000. So there's already something iffy going on with that 18.2. And some of these vehicles, one of them is actually the spitting image.
Well, look up Kelly Blue Book, because this might be like amount of the value if it was to be, because Kelly Blue Book tends to go into, well, what's the condition of the vehicle as well.
Right, and the mileage and all that stuff. And Grow Financial is a credit union.
Yeah, I got that part, but I don't know if it's a reputable one or if it's a because you get these associated credit and all of that. So
right, okay. So Jeep Gladiator, the 48,000. Jeep Gladiator 40,000. This is on. Oh, hang on a minute. I need to put the zip code in. What zip code is it again?
33689.
689.
Well, that's Tampa. That's where they bought. That's where the credit union is located. That's not. Let me look up.
Jesus, all these vehicles are above 30,000. All of them.
Yeah, which says to me that vehicle is not in very good condition, because they probably went on like Kelly Blue Book and fair condition. 32683.
Wait, what?
32683 is Otter Creek's zip code. So if you want to do the more accurate. So I'll have to look up.
Wait a minute. What was it again?
32683.
32683. holy shit, 54,000, 28, 40, 31, 44, 41, 27, 28, 35, 38, 31. What's it? What was the insurance? Right. So basically, yeah. Right. Okay. So used 2021 Jeep Gladiator Sport, 439 a month. Chase for 72 months. Vehicles 31,000. Trading amount 0. Down payment 20%. So yeah, that yeah. So yeah, you can all these vehicles, and I'm looking at the ones in Otter Creek. All these vehicles, you can put their down payments. So you do put monthly down payments.
AP and Unhung Hero have good points, and Gale too. Gale, no garage, no maintenance, Florida sun, not in great condition. Yeah, but like for us, we always put protectors in our windows to protect the dash from the sun. Anytime our stuff is, anytime our cars are parked. So even though sometimes we park outside, most of the time. But AP, y'all know, and below Jeeps in below fair condition without accidents can still pull top dollar in the used market. I'm sure they can, but Unhung Hero brings up a really good, and I've never been interested in a Jeep because they're transmissions, but that's like a rabbit hole that, you know, KBB is retail data. The creditor is probably using wholesale data. That's another good point too. So, and this is why I love the chat, because I know what I know about cars from what I've like. I just use my personal experience, but I buy a new car like once every 8 years. So the last car I had was a 2008, then I had a 2017, and now I have a 2025. Like I don't get cars very often. So yeah.
Check.
DMs?
Yeah.
Check 1, 2.
Check. 1 second.
All right. So, okay. He sent me the Grow Financial's credit union's website. So, yeah. They seem to have a lot of offerings: personal loans, balance credit cards, checking accounts, savings accounts, money markets, IRAs. I mean, they seem to have.
Yeah, it seems to be, fairly reputable.
Sometimes you never know with people who work with car dealerships, because
my son was a used car salesman. He's told me the horror stories.
I mean, I've never personally fallen for this crap, but I was a young sailor once, and they know you get paid on the 1st and the 15th of every month.
Yep.
They just, Hey, Star, how are you? Good afternoon, Squid, Spawn, and my pretty.
Here. I just sent you the reviews on that company as well.
All right.
And we've called this show Pretty, Petty, and the Seeker, because she's pretty, I'm petty, and he is our searcher.
Wait, what? Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Interesting. We've got the same type of company in the UK as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Angel.
And they were established in 2021.
Okay, so they're relatively new, which is probably the reason that they
No, over here.
Over there.
Yeah.
Trustpilot. I mean, do not invest in a company with bad people. I'm looking at some of the reviews, and so they've either got a 5-star review or a 1-star. Like 33% of the people who have, so 5-star reviews is 1 of 3, and a 1-star review is 2 of 3. So they might seem reputable, but they
They got
have,
issues.
yeah,
Well,
they
I mean,
got,
like if they update any of that information, they have to change the registration at 2025 Grove Financial Federal Credit Union, subject to eligibility. You know, like if you have a look at their right at the bottom. Um, so yeah, it's very interesting that they've also got a PO box under the Federal Credit Union. They got in Florida in Tampa. They got a routing number. They are established on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. What else have we got? Yeah, interesting. Interesting. But the auto insurance is also very interesting, you know.
And I
So
pulled up the Kelly Blue Book value, and it's got it. It's got the Jeep listed somewhere around 37,000 is the average cost. I pulled up the Kelly Blue Book value on it. But we don't know if she didn't get a special deal because, she has a disabled child and so forth and so on. So we don't know.
I can tell you right now if she got a deal or not. One sec. Let me have a look at my pictures of Magic.
Patty says in the last 2 years, the cost for used cars have gone up dramatically. It's more like 4 years, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been more like since 2021-ish.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, lately it's been talked about on the national news. Well, part of the issue that I noticed was supply chain. Couldn't get parts from overseas to manufacture the vehicles. So people who were getting rid of used cars became a very valuable asset because we didn't have the supply of new cars due to part shortages.
Right.
Like, I know that Toyota Camrys are built in Georgetown, Kentucky, and they were struggling to get parts from overseas to build the new Camrys. So they were at a shortage. So, supply and demand. But we had a used car for a little while before I got mine. But Mr. Squid met a deer, and right the same week as Hurricane Helene, he totaled our car.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
yeah, I get a call at 3:30 in the morning. I'm coming back home. I hit a deer. More like the deer hit him, but it messed with yeah, and it was due to the chip shortages, which is a car part. I wasn't wrong. I didn't specify. All right. So getting back to this document, we date the debt was incurred. They got it October of 2020. Just this is where I have questions, and people who know more about the property are going to have to answer these questions for me. But Service Finance from Cincinnati, and she didn't even spell Cincinnati right. It's 2 N's, 1 T. Cincinnati O. I will have to double check the documents to make sure that that's not a mistake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't accidentally delete something, because I can still mess with these documents. These documents are PDFs, and I can autofill these documents. So, not a rite of passage I've ever done, and nor do I want to. This is one of the reasons I don't like driving in this rural ass freaking area, because I don't want to run into a deer. Yeah. So, structure on real property, awnings. You paid $9,000 for awnings.
It's not awnings. It's the shell of the barn dominium that she's building.
Okay.
It's what's built so far.
Okay. And that's why I had questions about this, because I'm like, awnings, Well, one, why do you have awnings when you don't have a place to put them? And like, why would you pay $9,000 for awnings? There was a couple of questions that were running through my head, and I was like, did yes, Mel, and I can try.
I think it's the balance left over that she still owes on, and I call it a shell. There may be a real word for it. I don't know, but it's a shell because it doesn't have no walls, doesn't have any wiring, doesn't have any insulation. It's just that structure that's there. They still have to make their monthly payments on that each month.
It's basically a
shell.
No, I'm sorry. Rough. I hit a cow once, not an exciting experience.
How do you hit a cow?
Would you believe me if I told you I almost hit a moose? In a Honda Civic? Who would have won that fight? Definitely not my Civic. Well, I can tell you. I just the frame. So basically, and I haven't looked at the property. This is where like part of staying out of this shit, staying out of the drama would helps but hinders at the same time. It helps because I'm only looking at what's in the document, but it hinders because sometimes when shit is in the documents like this, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I guess because it's a metal structure, it's the same kind of metal you'd use for awnings. So maybe that's where they got it from, was a company that handles awnings and stuff for houses.
Mine too. I'm pretty sure my stepsister says Cincinnati. I know my mama used to say Cincinnati. And I'm like, Cincinnati? You know, being from the Midwest and enunciating. It's a pole shed. Cynthia, it's a shell thing, has many meanings.
That's so true. That is so true. It's so true.
Comment of the day. Oh my god. We're gonna pin this comment to the top of the chat because we're just gonna keep that one for safekeeping.
That's hilarious.
Cynthia, you win the internet today. I think I got it. There we go. Yeah. 9,000. Hey, John, how are you? 9,000 is for the shed. It was a misprint on the contract. The barn is paid for in full. John, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I have no idea what your property looks like right now. I don't listen. I don't. So when I'm seeing things in these documents, I'm like, huh? So the awnings was the shed. Okay.
Now, is that little shed that's in the back? Or are we talking about a different kind of shed? Are we talking about the little shed that everybody's been kind of staying in? Or are we talking about an actual utility shed? I'm just curious. Just honestly, just curious.
Yeah, John, I'm not here to argue with you. I have genuine questions because I don't know and I'm curious. And Marta, who helped her fill this out, that is one question that I really would like John to answer, because I am curious as John, the lawyer who was supposed to help her fill these out did a really shitty job. And this is not, and the thing about it is like, not trying to make excuses for her or say that like she's a great person or whatever, but playing devil's advocate, the reason you hire a lawyer for this shit is to make sure that I'm not a lawyer. You look at paperwork all the time. When I was filling out my loan paperwork for this house, I'd be like, I think I filled it out. Let me know if there's anything I messed up on. And I would get emails on a daily basis. Hey, we need this, or we need this, or, like, hey, what is this? But that's where my loan officer and us would communicate. I'm thinking that lawyer is some level of like did not do his due diligence. And as many people on the pro what the hell side want to call Lynette out for this, and sometimes I'm like with the like clothes stuff, I'm like, you didn't put any of your clothes down, like, come on, hon. However, this is the this is what the lawyer was supposed to do, and a good lawyer would have Zoom called her, FaceTimed, whatever, and sat down and went through these documents together to make sure before he submitted them that you had all your shit together. Like, and it was like, I'd be filing some sort of complaint against that lawyer or asking for my money back, because
I
this
agree.
shit. And I have known people personally in my family who have filed for bankruptcy, and they sat and talked to their lawyers quite frequently. So I'm like, that's where I'm like, I'm just so like, dude.
Now the
Like,
35, John saying it's the 35 by 14. Is that the one that has the dresser and the washer and dryer and all that stuff in it? That I'm wondering if that's the one he's talking about, or if he's talking about the little blue shed. It can't be the little blue shed in the back if it's 35 by 14. It's got to be the bigger one over to the left.
yes, Edie, all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. That's why you pay a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you didn't need a lawyer, you could do it all yourself and it would be fine. But a lawyer is supposed to help you out. And it does not look like the lawyer did anything.
Hey, look, God love her. She hasn't had very good luck with attorneys. I give her that.
I know. What is it? Every sleazy ass lawyer in Florida. The only person they're missing is Sarah Boone's lawyer.
Yeah.
And John, I highly don't recommend him. I'm just, no. I just stay away from Sarah Boone's lawyer, because she's getting life in prison.
Hey, John, I've got a couple of questions for you. If you got time to answer them and you want to answer them truthfully, and I'm not going to have a dig at you, I want to ask you a couple of questions, and these questions are quite straightforward. If you want to answer them, you may do so. If you do not want to answer them, that is entirely your choice. However, what I'm doing, I'm giving you some ammunition for your little pop gun. So your choice. Let me know in chat if you want to answer them. Okay, and then I will ask those questions. Until then, I should continue to listen.
Yeah. Before I get to John's comment, Katie Buck said Sarah Boone was Sarah Boone's lawyer for a time. Yeah, there's that too. I wouldn't recommend that either. Squid, you don't know everything, and that's the great thing about you. You admit that you don't know everything, so you always ask. Some people don't have that mental faculty. If I knew everything, what's the point of having a channel where I discuss things with people who know more than me? And you can't have lifelong learning if you think you know everything. If you're a know-it-all,
And that's the only way to learn, is by discussing things amongst yourselves and getting everybody else's opinion, and then you can make your own opinion. But until you have all the facts, you can't have an opinion.
And part of the reason of going through these documents, like with a fine-tooth comb, is not only to possibly any lies or anything like that, just in general, but also to let individuals who might have to file for bankruptcy one day what to look for in a lawyer, and advocating for yourself, because this is just
May I?
and John,
Oh.
there's a lot of empty spaces because I basically own everything and I have the receipt. But she didn't even put clothes. Do you own all of her clothes too? Do you own all of HG's clothes? Like, and I'm not here to bring up anything about the child, but on that, her being HG's guardian, all of HG's belongings are technically hers. So none of that was on there either. And that's where a good lawyer would have said, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? And get things that we don't like. I always tell people when they were asking questions to their doctors, you always think of questions when you're not with your doctor. And then when your doctor asks you, do you have any questions? you either forget or don't stand up for yourself and just go, no. I always tell people to write down in either a note on their phone or a notepad, bring that shit to the doctor with you and ask the questions that you get at like 3 a.m. when you can't sleep. So
Can I just put a couple of questions to John,
yep.
if I may, if it is the real John Cook? But anyway, I'm not going to play that. Right. My first question is this to you, John. If with the amount of money that the Crampons, my apologies, you know them as Lisa, Tori, and Robbie, and everyone else on that platform, with the money that they collected from, I say, September all the way until March this year, and the fact that an estimated $80,000 to $100,000 was collected in general, how much of that money have you seen? And it's all fine and good. However, in October last year, you received all the money for the fence. Okay, fine. However, since then, have you received any type of financial support or funding from the donations that were given to the fleas? To the two leads in the pod. Did you receive any type of financial payout from them, from the donations that people gave them? That's question one. Question two: if you and Lynette are not afraid of, and you are stating, as you have stated multiple times, that you both are telling the truth, then why aren't you showing factual proof? Because one of the proofs that a lot of people want to see is where all the money has come from and where all the money has gone to, because there has been no evidence whatsoever in transparency of what you've received. The fact that, like, around the Christmas celebration was just for you three, and then suddenly it turned into a large party for another group of people who brought 5 children or 4 children to that party, which I'm not, it's nothing bad. However, it would be very interesting for where all this money has gone to, because as you and your ex-partner seem to state that you are bankrupt, or you have no money, then how is it that Lynette can afford a jewelry welding machine, and also you can afford rent in the flea market and to operate that vehicle? That's question 2. And question 3: why don't you hold Lisa Rubisi, or whatever they want to call themselves, why don't you hold them responsible for the donations that you have not received from the people who gave them money to give to you, to be able for you to complete the barnuminium and everything else on your property? Thank you very much. This is Spawn Trooper, over to you in the studio.
There's just things that are like, the lawyer is what's pissing me off right now, regardless of anything else. Like, the lawyer is what's
that's a good point.
Pissing me off.
That is a very good point. You just reminded me, Mr. Cook, Mr. John Cook. Serious question. When did you realize that Bruce Matskin wanted to quit representing you? Was it after or before he told you that he sent in a motion that you guys fired him? Thank you very much. Back to you in the studio.
And John, my email is on my page. If you ever want to email me and talk, like, not an argument, not a judgmental, nothing, just you want answers, or I have questions, and just a general conversation. Because
but John, that's not, you're not giving me an answer. Man to man, if I asked you point blank right now, how much of that money that was donated to the 2 peas in a pod, how much of that money have you personally received to support you and Lynette and your property? This is not me having a dig at you. This is probably the first time, if you are really that John Cook, who was on a platform with Stacey Naz and everyone else, right? I am asking you a genuine question, right? I am neutral. I'm being unbiased. I'm not being nasty to you. I'm asking you a general question. How much of that financial support that people went out of their way to give to you, how much of that have you seen honestly? Because at the end of the day, if they are not, if Lisa and Tori and all these people are not going to show transparency, and they haven't from day one, okay, then you and Lynette are the only people who are able and capable of putting them on a spot. Because if they haven't given you what people have donated from their heart, from their pockets, and they donated it because they wanted you to have that, all right, then they have taken advantage of you because they know that you are not capable of fighting them. So all you need to do, right, is put your hand on your heart and say, hey, okay, he's a Welsh limey git, I understand, but he's actually asking a genuine question. So it is entirely up to you, because this is the only way, right, you're going to stop people from taking advantage of you guys. What my personal opinion is about you guys is out of the way right now. You, okay, need to tell people if you've received any of those funds. It's all good and fine if you receive lumber, you receive brand new boots or clothing or whatever for Christmas. We already know that you already had the money for the fence in October last year. But here's the thing. Where's the rest of it gone? Because you're saying that you haven't received it. Lynette's saying that you haven't received it. She hasn't received it. You are the only one who can tell people the truth about this missing money. And this is your opportunity, my friend. This was Spawn Trooper. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, like I don't. And Auntie, yes, this is Lynette's bankruptcy. I just
Joe, that doesn't give an answer. I'm sorry, Joe. With all due respect, he answered that he got all the money, not LP. He said, no, that doesn't mean anything. I can say that I just received $26 million. Very easy for me to say. There is no physical transparency. That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, if John can prove, right, if John can prove that they have received $30,000, $40,000, whatever, all right, or have they been told to keep quiet?
There's that, and that's some of the questions that I don't know if we'll ever get answers to, but currently being hit with
John, John, I am the farthest from neutral, but right now I am talking to you man to man. I'm talking to you in the most nicest way I possibly can. I don't care if you hate me or not. That's beside the point. But at the end of the day, you are a human being. So is Lynette. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that you guys done, but at the end of the day, you are
to people acting like men. Can I get to the super chat really quick before he leaves? Slug, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Currently busy making money. Y'all are elderly. I turned 40 this month. I am not elderly. I'm almost elderly. Give me 2 weeks and then we'll talk about being elderly. But until then, I'm still in my 30s.
Is that not
We're
elderism?
seasoned. We're seasoned. That's what we are. We're seasoned.
Yeah, speak for yourself, my pretty. I'm a walking tank. Like, isn't that elderism? Elderism?
And even if John has it all in his name, isn't he is in lawsuits too? But he hasn't filed for bankruptcy. So if everything is in his name, good for her. But also not good for her, because then she owns nothing. It's all complicated and crappy. No matter how you look at it, this is a shitty situation from all aspects. Because this is just a shitty situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I agree.
John, he's the last person you need to talk to. Trust me. I mean, with all due respect, I know that you're not thick. I know that you are an intelligent guy, right? And the last people you need to associate yourself with are exactly those people, and one of them you just named. He's not that super. That I can assure you of. You need to listen, all right? People went out their way to help you. The only people who can now solve this problem and solve the transparency and tell the bloody truth is you and Lynette. Because at the end of the day, the two peas in the pod, they're going to walk away with all that money, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Now is the time, right, to speak up. Just saying. I'm just saying. Back to you in the studio.
I just think everybody screwed everybody over. And I don't. And John, this is not meant to be an insult, although you're probably going to take it as that. So I apologize in advance. I feel like everybody got screwed over and everybody stabbed each other in the back enough times where nobody wants to call anybody else out for fear of having their own bull crap. Whatever decisions you made, oh well, they're done and over with. You can't go back and change them. But it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, if John speaks up, then will the fleas turn around and go, well, he did this, or he said this, or he said this, or he said this. So it's not a blackmail situation, but like we know your dirty laundry, and unless you want more of your dirty laundry on the internet, I suggest you just stay quiet kind of a situation. I could be, like I said, this is just a hypothetical situation. I don't know, because I don't know, but it's just.
I mean, a lot of people, John, a lot of people don't like me because I'm not scared of saying it as it is. So I'm going to say it as it is to you. All right. I've got a very, very strange suspicion that you've been sort of bullied into not talking or whatever. And you can say that, no, that's not true, whatever. Okay. The fact that your former lawyer, Bruce Matskin, lied to the courts saying that he was fired by you, and then suddenly about a week later or a few days later, you're saying that he asked you to release him, right? That shows you how much they cared about you three, right? Then you've got the two peas in the pod. All they have done, okay, since they've met you is grift. How much of that donations, the people, everyone in this chat, the community, every single person who put their hand in their pocket and went, give that to them. How much of that did you receive? What, spending a couple of grand on lumber, so, and everything else. And the fact that she sat on her platform and dragged you both through the shit, but there's been no transparency. John, at the end of the day, I'm not going to pussyfoot around like everyone else does. I'm going to give you it straight, mate. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to get the two peas in the pod, the crampons, the fleas, the freaking walruses. You need to get them to show 100% transparency of every single penny, right, that was donated on your behalf. Otherwise, okay, you're never going to see anything, because they're just going to say, well, you come after us, we'll sue you. Or, yeah, what are they going to do? They're not going to do anything to you, mate. They're not going to do anything. What happens between people is your business. But this has been publicized. They have sat on their platform for months, and they have character assassinated people, and that's beside the point. But the fact here is about the money. You have one person sitting in this chat who has donated a lot of money, and when he asked for transparency, he got dragged through the shitter.
Yeah.
All right. And the thing is, he may be an arrogant twat, okay, and me and him don't like each other, but the thing is, his heart was in the right place, and it was on his collar, and he donated. You are the only one, all right, who can put them on the stand, put them under a spotlight, make them show proof. Because we know that they were lying. I can prove to you personally that they were lying.
Well, like Lynette said out of her own mouth, God love them. They're in a worse shape now than they were when this started.
Hi, Dan.
And that came out of her own mouth, and I agree with her wholeheartedly. She's in worse shape now than they were when it started. You're right. These people donated money to them to help them. They donated it because of John, Lynette, and the baby. And it's not right what's going on with it. It's not right. And I think that's what's got even people on both sides of the coin a little upset.
Like John, I will admit, never been a big fan. I heard I got a screenshot that you called me a piece of human trash or some ungodly crap like that. I don't know. But other like I have nothing against you. I just have questions. And it seems like between when I first started covering or hearing about this case and where it is now, shit has gotten so much worse. So much worse. And it's like, I don't think it had to get this out of hand.
No, this was right. This is my personal opinion. And John, if you don't want to listen, fine, that's your choice. My personal opinion, right? All this could have been dealt with privately. Okay. However, there were parties who needed a reason and they needed a platform so they could attack and character assassinate Jeremy Hells. Okay. And that was the Fleas and Robbie. All right. Robbie lies through his freaking teeth. Okay. And the two peas in the pod lie through their freaking teeth. That has been factually proven.
Tooth.
All right. And then you've got Mr. Frickin', what's his name? Jabba the Hoot, all right? Dave, or Sub to Dave, or whatever you want to call him, all right? Don't you realize that you are being used as tools for them to get the clout, the money? That's all you are. You are the ones, especially you, John, if you've got the freaking kahunas and the man sausage to do it, stand up for yourself and ask them, where's the transparency? Because I can right now, if you said to me, prove it, right? I would find a freaking video, right? Actual fact, no, go to the 17th of October if they haven't deleted it, all right, of last year and listen to what they said about the fence. You are the only one who can get the transparency done. And if it doesn't work, go to find yourself a pro se lawyer, right? And take them to court or do what you need to do to get the evidence. But at the end of the day, John, right? You going on a platform and sitting there with all these women with Lisa there flapping their gums, they're using you for clout, mate. You're the poster child for these idiots. But at the same time, you know what? You make your bed, you lay in it. But the way you've been dragged through this by Bruce Matskin and all these other clowns, I mean, I've got my personal opinion about you, Sunshine, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's right that people who donate their money, the well-earned money, to see another human being live, not to live in squalor, and then their money is taken and it's not used the way it's supposed to be used. And if you want to hate on me, you crack on. I've got broad shoulders and a very, very, very thick skin. But you need to fucking get the truth out there, man. Just saying.
At least take whatever money supposedly left over, and go buy stuff that's going to go into the barndominium and put it in the barndominium, and at least it's there. At least the money was spent on what it was meant to be spent on. Mm. At least the stuff is there. It's not fair. It's not right. And I think that's what gives everybody else a lot of pause is whether we agree with everything that goes on, John, with you and your family, that's one thing. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And it's just wrong.
I mean, look at it like this.
You're back.
Okay. Look at it in this perspective. All right. The issue with you, Lynette, Jeremy Hells, one problem. Well, one issue. The issue with the money and everything else is you, Lynette, all right, and then you've got Robbie, you've got Lisa, Tori, you've got freaking Lufman, you've got Volpe, you've got Leslie, you've got Dave. I mean, how many people is it going to take for you to come to the realization that you're being taken for a ride?
Yeah.
You need, all right? I don't care. At the end of the day, you made your bed, you lay in it. But you are getting people who, me personally, I'll be very honest with you, I think you're an arsehole. But I don't like to see people being ripped off. And that's on both sides. People who donated towards your cause and for you to be ripped off by them.
That's the thing. I can think people, like, just interjecting my opinion here, I can think people are an asshole and not like them in general and still be
a human.
Well, yeah, one, still be a human, and two, still realize that there are facts on their side. Just because
Right.
I might not like the person's personality
Mm.
doesn't mean I think they're 100% wrong all the time. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just not how life works. Like, you will agree with people that you don't like all the time, and it's just whether you can be a grown ass adult and admit that, yes, I don't like you, but you have a point. Let's work together to see how we can fix this problem.
Mm.
Or if you just fucking name call and like society generally does, it just name call, and it's called empathy. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I mean, yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
like,
people very
you,
well, but at the same time, like, I don't hate people. Like, I'm not that mean. I can be, but I don't like being that mean.
do you know? So, do you know what? Me personally,
Mama
I
Squid is in the house, and when I said
uh-oh.
I'm not that mean, she looked at me like I was fucking nuts.
Say hello from me. I mean, let me put it this way. All right, people have called me everything under the sun because I'm not scared of saying it as it is. Here's a little thing you can take to the bank, John. If you through other sources contacted me and say, hey, I would like to come on your platform, I would bring Squid, my pretty, and me and you onto my platform, and do you know what? I would talk to you like I'm talking to you right now, because this is exactly the way I would talk to you if I was in person.
That's how you
You
talk to me.
the issue that you've got right now is that you are being ripped off by people who are they're actually worse than you, and they've been doing it. And one thing I want you to, I don't care if you want to call me an arsehole, you can call me anything you like, but next time you go for a
Except for
dump,
late for dinner.
all right, I want you to sit down while you're reading your newspaper, when you're sitting on a throne. This is what I want you to think about. Think about every single person, and I mean this with the most sincerity, every ounce of sincerity.
Is that mine?
Close your eyes and just imagine a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old, a 70-year-old, a grandma taking $10 and donating it to your cause to get your barnuminium sorted, to help you get back on your feet. But that money hasn't come to you. And the reason being is because you've got people who have control over all that money, and they just give you a little bit there, a little bit here to keep you quiet.
Mhm.
Right? But the thing is, that money that was donated to them is for you, not for them. Right? When she said, "Oh, that money is for me to do what I want to do with," absolutely not. You need to cut yourself off from them. You need to get someone to help you investigate where that money's gone. Simple. Back to you in the studios. Hi, Mama Squid.
Hello.
Hey, Mama Squid.
Hi, everybody.
Mama Squid's in the house, which means I have about 20 minutes left before I got to get out of here and get my butt to work. And Ung Hung Hero, thanks for the $2 super chat. He says I'm an asshole and Squid tolerates me.
We all
Right.
do.
And John, here's one more thing before we right. Let me tell you something. When it comes to the crampons and all those anti what the hell's ecosystem, all right, this goes across the board for every single one of them. God ruined a perfectly good arsehole when he put teeth in their mouths.
Think about that and try to sleep at night.
I'm sorry, but I have to get off my chest, because the thing is, like, if he is still here, it's the first time he's basically heard real talk.
Trying to do
I'm
it.
sorry. I'll try to refrain from talking about teeth and assholes in the same sentence. I'm sorry.
Greatly appreciated.
No,
And
you're welcome.
and Timothy, thank you for the 3-month member chat. Been stuck in Squid for 3 months. Woohoo!
My apologies if I have offended anyone in the community. It was not my intention, but when
And
shit
I'm
needs to be
sorry,
done.
but Ung Hung Hero is like out grifting all of outdoing all of you today, between the member or the gifted memberships and the super chat comments. Like, the only person who's out commented Ung Hung Hero is Cynthia.
Hmm.
All right, we're gonna get through. And Third of Hurdles, thank you for being a member for 9 months. You've had a squid baby.
Oh, by the way, Slug, it's very good to see you again. I hope that you're doing well in your education as a journalist.
Like, I don't care about any of this. I'm just here to bully Squid and the two ancient creatures.
Oh, in the fucking. Oh, I hope that you have a flat tire and your arms are too short to change it.
Well, don't let him kid y'all. He loves me.
Mama Squid, behave yourself. Don't know where you've been.
I'm gonna take him off of my taxes. I think I've took him to raise.
He's trying to get rid of me already.
Congratulations, Slug.
I use Squid for bait when I go group fishing.
Do you know what? That sentence can be taken so many different ways.
I'm just not gonna.
When a
Slug is
group,
not real. Oh my god, I love this chat.
what he does in group fishing should be kept in group fishing. It's just like Fight Club. What's the first rule of Fight Club? You don't talk about Fight Club. Tim, have you seen Timothy's comment? That's in the heart. Yeah, fuck you, Timothy. I'm not talking to you anymore.
This entire mess reminds me of the McClure and D'Amico donation scheme in New Jersey years ago, collecting $400K to help a homeless man, only to pocket it. 3 years in prison. I think I remember that. Do
you know anyone who does that? They should have electric collars put around their neck, legs, and balls, and basically every time they even say change, they get zapped. Taking something from a homeless person, or I'm going to my happy.
This was all that was on that whole sheet was just the two things.
You see, my question would be this now to Lynette, right? Coughing up. On the honest hand on the heart, did you get told to fill it out and then they'll put the motion on the docket for you, or did they help you fill it out, or did they fill it out for you? Because the thing is, it doesn't. In my personal opinion, I don't think a lawyer was involved in the filling out of that form.
If so, not a good one. And then E and F is completely empty. Or wait, E and F is not empty. G is empty. E and F is creditors who have unsecured claims.
Wait, what? I'm a creative sadist. Oh my god, unhung hero in the nuts. First it's Timothy in the heart, then it's unhung hero in the nuts. Right, who's next?
Don't ask.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I don't want the answer to that.
Well, the pew pews are technically John's, especially when they were bought. If they were bought by him, the paperwork but then the tortoises are technically in the 501c3, and that is not involved in this at all. So like, it's a I can't say it's a loophole, but it's like things are not. It's not that they're kosher, but like, it's just.
Can I just only me? Here's the thing: when you've got too many people's hand in the pot, because don't forget the fleas, all right, seem to come out with excuses in regards to the permits, and that's this is the problem. They're not. Oh God.
No. I've got the hospital tomorrow. I hope everything is okay. Good vibes and positive thoughts and.
Mate, if we were sitting in a pub only me, trust me, I would tell you exactly what I think about this whole freaking situation.
Oh my God.
And I don't bloody drink. And trust me, I would actually have a fucking glass of beer.
Yeah, and those dogs were not disclosed on there because technically, even though they're living, they're property.
Yep.
So yeah, that's true too. Like, It's just like, John, I want to believe you that you own everything, but you own all her clothes. That's where I'm like, that just stuff's not adding up.
Yeah, you don't own the. You don't just solely own the household goods like washer, dryer, refrigerator. Those types of things. Those are joint. Y'all would be in a domestic partnership.
That is true from what I understand. However, it's a she can, and I'm not giving anybody legal advice, but I have a feeling that she's going to claim that she didn't know that and that it's still under her stuff. So, I'm leaving the whole 501c3 or 3C thing out of the equation with this because I don't have enough information, actual like documentation. I've heard things, but I haven't seen documentation. So yeah, the cell phone, the new tab, like there's the things. It's like, yeah.
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, and
Take.
this is my personal opinion, when it comes to the court case, if the IRS or the feds are involved and the IRS gets involved, I really do hope they find the biggest books in the library of law and throw them at the crampons and at every single person, because the cases between Jeremy Hells and John and Lynette, that's one thing. But when it comes to taking money away from a cause that for these three individuals, and you've got people like Lisa and her entourage basically saying, hey, this money was for me to do what? No, it wasn't. You are a thief. There you go. I've accused you of thief, to be a thief.
And on the
What are you gonna do about it?
501c, I do believe that has been reactivated. I do believe that she got the paperwork in for that and has been reactivated. It's showing active right now.
Now it's your burden of proof to prove me that I was wrong by calling you a thief, Lisa, Lee, whatever you want to call yourself, you absolute freaking cockwomble. I'm going to mute
And
myself.
Drew Terry says, I guess we'll see whether the receipts survive the court scrutiny. Yep, that's. But the problem with these being filled out and possibly not being filled out correctly, and the fact that you have a lawyer, is if you don't fill these out correctly, when you sign them, it says under the penalty of perjury. And like, that's my freaking concern. I just like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone's grifting, but
So this one is do any creditors have priority unsecured claims against you? Yeah.
oh shit, a brick.
Go to part 2. Do any non-priority unsecured creditors have non-priority unsecured claims against you? Yes. Chase Bank, and I'm hoping I looked at these and I redacted them. I couldn't think of the word. Surge Card, Chase Bank, Cricket Wireless. There's the phone, and if it's in her name, okay. Here's where the things does. This is the question I had. If the Cricket Wireless account is in her name, the cell phone is in her name, which means the cell phone should have gone on the personal property. It's things like that. That if I caught it, what is the, or if both of your names are on it, it's half and half. Like my name is on the cell phone bill. So yes, like Mr. Squid has a phone, but that phone is mine because I paid for it. Just saying. My name is the only one on the account. Same with Mama Squid. My name is on that account with all 3 of those phones. They have the phones, but that phone is mine. Technically speaking. Sorry, Mom. I had to apologize to Mom. But like, so if she were to say my mom were to file for bankruptcy and she would fill that out, she wouldn't be able to put a phone because that phone is mine. Squid and her Obama phone. No, not exactly. Like,
Oh, I like that idea.
What? The
Yeah.
names. All right, hold on. Let me remove this from the screen. Hi. Can you not knock over my shelf, please? No, no, no.
She was honest.
Oh, it's time for a butt change.
Smelly bum, you got a smelly bum.
No, please. No, help me. Help me. Help me. If you hear her yell, help me, she's getting her diaper changed. She will be fine. Like, I will have to go for that. I will have to go back and do it because I can't find it here. I'll have to look at the unredacted document to look up anything. But here we go. Deanna and Deanna West, she put these on the same editor one only, like, but she put these on the same person, like on the same line. Shouldn't they be two different lines because they're two different people?
Yeah,
Yep.
because they would each have a claim.
Yep.
Jeremy, she put John on her list of debtors. What does she owe John? John, what does she owe you?
Only thing I could think of is the property. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else like what she would owe John.
Hang on a minute.
Unless the fact that he has claim to half the property per se, if they were to split up, she would owe him his portion if she bought him out. I don't know.
Hang on a minute. I've got a question. I mean, obviously, you guys will know a little bit more.
I might have an answer.
Okay.
Good night, only me.
Okay. Right. Let me ask you a question. If, hypothetically speaking, you grift for $6,000 for a lawyer, all right? However, that money obviously didn't go towards the bankruptcy lawyer because you can, just by looking at the form here, what does that, if it's been proven that that $6,000 did not go to that lawyer, who we've already established who it is and what type of company it is, what will happen to Deuce Almighty? The fact that he actually has mentioned that he was the one who collected the 6,000 and grifted for the 6,000. Wouldn't he get done for embezzlement?
Yeah, but you'll never be able to prove that because the lawyer submitted a receipt for that amount of money in court.
Right. Right. But if a good investigator would find out if there was any type of communication. So that means, checking the communication between both parties, like emails, phone calls, text messages and stuff like that. If there's a suspicion that there is foul play. Because at the end of the day, I doubt very much, considering what I've seen on that website from this lawyer and everything else, and looking at this document, it's like someone who just fell out of a fucking tree and then decided to go to the next tree to see if he could actually get brains back. Because even I understand this document and even I would be able to fill it out myself. However, I would get legal advice on it. So
there's so many, like, one question just leads to more questions, which leads to more questions, and it's like, it's just sometimes you look at stuff and you're just like, none of that makes sense.
yeah,
Right.
None of it makes sense. I know there's a lot of people out there who, I mean, only me with all due respect, I know there's a lot of people out there who would love to be your lap child, because, like I said, you are a genuinely large-hearted person who wants to help. But there's so many people who would take advantage of that. And unfortunately, you've been on the receiving end of that advantage taken. And this document itself, I mean,
So add
Okay.
all other non-priority unsecured claims, write that amount here. $31,962.13.
Yeah, but the thing is, have you noticed one thing she hasn't added into that, which has just dawned on me?
What?
You know, when Jeremy Hales put out the lawsuits and the costs of the amounts of the suits per person, they haven't been added to that.
Ooh.
On a technicality, you'd have to add, right, the debt incurred, right, because she's already put on lawsuit. She needs to put in the amount that they've been sued for.
And also, I noticed on her list of creditors, I didn't see Larry Foreman's name up there.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about it.
So
I mean,
Shane,
I didn't see him anywhere.
Therese, and Brett Granger. T-Mobile. So she's got Cricket and T-Mobile. Verizon. Why is it? How many different phones did you have? So yeah, she didn't put a lot of people's stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her with 2 phones.
I have to get going in a couple of minutes. Do we have any final thoughts on the documents we looked at today and the derailment in chat, which people were apologizing for derailing? That's the longest John Cook has ever been in my chat and been willing to answer questions. He might have been dodgy with a few in some people's opinions. However, he was here and there was no name calling. There was 3 people here who straight up don't get along. Spawn Trooper, John Cook, and only me. And all of them were, to a point, respectful to each other. So, like, yes, I know y'all don't get along. I'm not saying anything like that, but, like, y'all, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but
there was no name calling. There was no people getting timed out. People in the chat seem to be, even though you don't like John, and that's okay, everybody's entitled to feel how they feel, but thank you for being at least somewhat respectful in chat to only me and John Cook, and thanks for not bombarding only me with questions of where'd the money go and all that, because once again, beating a dead horse, I'm pretty sure he doesn't, people are not willing to work with you if you keep asking them the same question over and over again, expecting a different answer.
No, I mean, the thing here's the thing. They it's not me. I don't dislike them. I just how can I put it? They hate me because I put them on the spot, and that's okay, as long as they are willing to listen. And if they want to give constructive criticism back, or they want to disagree to agree, or agree to disagree, that's entirely their choice. However, when you actually do get someone who puts you on the spot and actually says it as it is, and I think that's needed. Because, only me has been taken for a ride by people. And funny enough, if John would actually sit down and think about it, so has he. Whatever goes on between them, John and Lynette and Jeremy Hales is a complete different bag of tricks. We're talking about the fact that a group of people have taken advantage and used Lynette and John as a stepping stone to attack and systematically character assassinate Jeremy Hales and George. That's simple as it is. And that includes freaking Jabba the Hutt as well. And, I mean, why should I be rude to them when I want to know the truth? And the only people who can actually tell the truth and be honest about it are not exactly the person who is in here tonight, John Cook. But he's either afraid of them, or he's been told, if you say this or you do this, you're not getting anything. Who knows? Speculative. Allegedly.
And if they never talk, if we never give John or anyone else an opportunity to speak, then we'll never know if that's what's being done or not. We'll never know what's happening. And it was very respectful. I thought your chat did absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the way it
my
should
chat
be.
is awesome.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. You should be able to adult this.
Yeah, fantastic community.
And to adult it, you have to be willing to listen to what the other people say. You may not believe it. You may think it's a whole crock of, bullpucky, and that's okay. At least give them an opportunity to say how they feel, ask questions. You might learn something.
And
Mhm.
also, not everybody in this world is going to get along, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But my chat's not necessarily a safe space by any means, but it's a respectful space where people aren't going to be willing to come in here, and you're not going to get answers. You're not going to get anything. You're going to get the silent treatment and people talking shit about you if you never give them the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, Lisa always is inviting people. Oh, come on my channel. Come on my channel. Yeah, right. Like
Mhm.
anybody would ever get a fair chance to even give their ideas or their opinions. It would never happen. So therefore, nobody from Jeremy's side even attempts to do that because it's
And that's the
not
thing.
worth it.
I don't have to like people. I don't have to think they're telling me the truth to at least listen to what they have to say.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm not going to
We gotta
not
be
listen
willing.
just because I don't like somebody. No, I don't like you. I'm not going to. There's a few people who I'm like, no, I'm never speaking to you again because you're a piece of crap. But
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
there's, but only me's never done anything to me.
No,
Like,
I
you
think
might
only
have
me.
pissed off other people in other people's chats. Not my problem. That's a them problem. Like, until he was warned last week, and he was very respectful this week. So, like, thank you, only me. Appreciate it. It was just one of those things of like, I'm one of those people where I'll give everybody the chance to talk. I don't have to like what they say. Guess what? Freedom of speech.
I
You
firmly
don't have
believe
to agree
only
with
me.
everybody.
I firmly believe only me really just wanted to make a difference. That was his
I
main
personally
goal.
think he just wanted. I personally think, he saw what was going on. He saw the little one, and his heartstrings pulled, and he wanted. His intentions were honourable, and he wanted
Yes,
to
they
help
were.
the little one. But the problem was, he was fooled by people who are really good, who got the gift of the gab, and unfortunately, look where it's ended up. I mean, he's never going to find out where any of that donation money went to. No one is. Anyone who donated to that cause, they're never going to see where that money went. The only proof you've got, like I've said on my own platform, the only proof you've got is that the fence, and that we're not even going to go down that route, but you've got any money spent on the banners, on Christmas lights, the Christmas decorations, and everything else, but you don't know how much was spent because there's been no factual proof. And at the end of the day, just because because my opinion about only me and John Cook, Lionette Presser, and everyone else, I have my opinion, and I'm going to stick to that opinion. However, I'm not going to disrespect them if they are behaving in a polite and respectful way. I'm not like that. But if they turn into arseholes, then they get it back twicefold. But they're grown adults, and sometimes people will not agree with what's being said. That's where what's the word? That's where dialogue comes into it. Communication. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care if you don't like each other, but if you can communicate, you put that negativity to one side, and you can communicate like two adults. Like tonight, I mean, John said, I'm far from the person to listen to respect, but at the end of the day, that's his opinion. Fine, but he got the opportunity, and he had the platform to say what he wanted to say without any negative fallout. Sorry.
Yeah.
And on that note, I do have to get going. Otherwise, I'm going to be late for work.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Enjoyed being with you guys.
No problem. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always fun. And
It
yeah,
is.
we got derailed, but we always get derailed, and that's the point.
I think
There are streams that are for reading documents, and there are streams for discussing documents, and this is a discussion.
Yeah, I think tonight, I do apologize for running late, but I think tonight that derailment was perfect for the topic of conversation, because we had both parties in the channel. We had only me in here, and we also had John Cook in here. All right. So from my personal perspective, I think it was the perfect interaction. I mean, if it happens more and both John Cook opens up a little bit more and gives us a little bit of trust, maybe he will tell us what's going on about because the only thing I want to know is where the hell all that money went.
I still have to laugh that he called me human trash and then showed up in my chat. I just have to laugh. I'm like, and John, this is nothing personal if you're still listening, but the insults that people throw, I'm wondering how much they actually mean these insults and how much they're just talking to have an opinion about the latest thing. And sometimes for some reason, people like to talk about me. I have no idea. I'm pretty boring. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I go to the gym. I read legal documents on the internet. I'm pretty damn boring. But people apparently like to talk about that. News to me. So
everyone's got an opinion.
People are talking about me. People like to put their opinions just to have themselves be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering some of them, because John couldn't go into that chat and say that he likes me. He'd be freaking ostracized.
Oh yeah, crucified on the cross for sure.
Yeah.
Like they would burn him at the stake.
Absolutely.
If he went anywhere near one of those chats and said, I respect her, or so like I have no idea if he does. I'm not saying that, oh, he likes me or he does this or he does this. I'm just saying you got to maintain some credibility you got to maintain some street cred. And telling people that you respect my opinion is not going to get you street cred on YouTube.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
On that note, Spawn, would you like to yeet us out of here?
Yeah. Just before I do yeet, I just want to say that like in about half an hour, Pam and I are going to go live if you want to. And I just want to say again, thank you very much for your hospitality. Thank you, Squid, for putting up with me. As you know, I'm like the pit bull running around in a circle. And to everyone in the chat, the community, the squid, whatever you call yourself. Thank you very much for being respectful and friendly towards each other and towards us. And on that note, 3, 2, 1, yeet.